Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning into this one. What this one is, it's fantasy football, Fullbuddy fantasy football. We got Craig Bentley.
Hello.
His brother Corey.
Hello there.
And we are. This is Travis, and this isn't the one that we do right before Sunday morning. We don't do this. This isn't the Sunday morning one where we give you our tips of the start 'em or sit 'em or pick 'em, grab 'em, whatever you want to do with them. That Sunday morning, check that out. Tell us what you think. Right now, we want to give a quick local shout out to Cole Street Brewery. Shout out to Sean. Please go visit him during this COVID shutdown. Please hit up any local business, but for the ones that support us, is Cole Street Brewery, as well as Bordeaux Wine Bar. They have the outside now seating. So does Cole Street. They have outside seating. And then also please call in a meal from Mazatlan and support our buddy Andy. This is a crazy time.
It's definitely one of those times that not a lot of people will see again. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you think that we're going to get the whole Inslee, like February, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's just 1 month. And then turn like he gets out, hey, no one's really listening and doing what they need to do. So now we're going to extend it to March and April. And they just kept getting extended every 2 weeks, to a month, and this and that. Do you see us, like seriously, this is shutting down? Oh, yeah, no, we're back open December 15th, December 16th. Or do you see it saying, hey, we're going to extend this through Christmas and New Year's? And we're gonna revisit everything January 15th.
I 100% think it's going to get extended through the end of the year.
I see it through January, but I see April, May, somewhere in there, somewhat getting back. You're never going to get back to
You just
normal.
skipped like 4 months.
I'm saying getting back to like normal. Once you're basically hoping this vaccine comes through that they just applied for the FDA approval, and they're going to do basically elderly and at-risk people first. If that starts, then you start to reduce some of the restrictions to begin with anyway. And then if you start to roll that out for everybody, then it'll reduce restrictions even more.
Not on the West Coast.
West Coast? Yeah, I don't know.
So
I mean,
best case, there's an end in sight, hopefully.
and I remember when everyone said, this is back in March and April, hey, this is literally how our world's going to be. Pause it and then pretend it's 2021 and then restart it. And that's where we're going to be. There's going to be a full year of this whole thing going, like a full physical year. It's not going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, September. It's going to be a full year.
The only way it was never going to be a full year is if you literally got every person in the United States for us to not move and go anywhere for 2 weeks straight.
And I remember at that time when we saw pictures of China and they're like welding people in and we're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guarantee if in like 2 years, if we get another friggin' pandemic that hits, it's going to be like, okay, China made sense. We're going to, these guys leave their homes at all times. 2 weeks, everyone, I'm sorry, you're just shut in your house for 2 weeks. If you come out, we shoot you.
The joke we made in the early part was, it's the one time where a dictatorship paid off, where you could just literally lock people away and be like, you're doing this or not. And it actually worked out.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
Did it?
Did it, though? Are we seeing real numbers?
Yeah.
All I know.
Conspiracy Craig.
That's what I'm saying. I am at that point. I don't know if you know this, but if you hear that like rattle, that picks it up. Like everything is connected to this thing that's holding, where you're setting your beer, slamming it down like Yokozuna. Like you are you're Lex Luger
Slamming yoga.
body slamming
the Lex Express.
every time you set that beer down. I used to be into super conspiracies. I'm now anti-conspiracy at this point because I hate them. I used to love them. I used to YouTube, go down the rabbit hole.
Jesse Ventura.
Oh man, Jesse Ventura, Bilderberg, Alex Jones, like anything that was like super like, ooh, I don't know, maybe this is like science fiction. Now it's like people really like full on.
It's gone too much.
I'm like at this point going, I don't know. I don't, and it affects me. It really does affect me.
It's gone too much. I used to love conspiracy theories too. Right. I would watch it. But then at a certain point, you rationalize it and go, this is just a little too much.
Right.
The problem is that's not happening anymore. Everybody's just like, oh, this must be true.
Right.
And then like following it way too far.
Right.
Yeah. Is there shady shit that goes on in the world? Yeah. Is everything true? No. Does it affect you all the time? Probably not. You worry about what you can affect in your own life and not about everything else that's going on.
Right. Craig?
That
Conspiracy Craig?
No, I agree with that. I mean, the problem was when you had what people would say conspiracy theorists, you had people extreme on one side, extreme on the other, but you had people in the middle that understood what it was.
Yeah.
It's gotten to a point where you're finding more extreme on each side, and there's not that people in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah. And it gets to a point, and I remember, so here's the thing. We're going to go Bible days. I don't know if you guys are into the Bible or any of that, but we're going to go back in time where Jesus is in front of the person who can pardon him, Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate says, Jesus says he's the truth. And Pontius Pilate goes, what is truth? And I'm at this point where I'm at the same point. Like, what is truth? I don't know what's true anymore. Like, I have no clue. Is there election fraud? Was there this? Was there that? And I'm like, feel like I'm in the middle of a Netflix documentary that I can't fast forward. Like, I'm just like, I'm at that point where I would totally, if this was a real deal thing, I would hit stop. I would go to drag my finger as far right as I possibly could, start it up and go, okay, how does this end? Okay, now let me go back and fill it in. I don't know how COVID's going to end. I don't know how this election's going to end. I don't know when we're going to be able to get back to normal lives again. Like, when are the masks going to end? Is that going to be a thing that we always do for the rest of our lives, is wear masks? I have no clue.
That's okay not to like know all that, but it's also no need for you to like ruin your life thinking about all that either. Because you make it through and you change. Will it end eventually? Like, you can't go down that rabbit hole, and it drags yourself down that entire time to do that. And the reason why you don't know what truth is anymore is 100% media difference. If you look back in the day when we grew up, the media was completely different. There was men that read the news, and they just read the news. They didn't give you their opinion on what happened. Everything now is just opinion based. A certain channel is a certain way. If you believe in a certain way, you watch that channel to make yourself okay with your own beliefs. And there wasn't social media back then. Right. We didn't have a way for me to tell you you're an idiot every hour of every day back when we grew up. Like,
and have 5 people like it.
And have 5 people like it, and then 20 people hate you. Like, it's just ridiculous how quickly
we just thought it.
We can just destroy each other online for no reason.
Right.
That's the difference now. It's all media manipulation and making you try to think a certain way.
You can't handle the truth.
So
I'm glad you were waiting to see. Like,
I've been so
primed and waiting.
So we slowly find out things as the government opens things up. Like, we get to see that there was some things back in our history early on that may have not been, when documents get declassified and this and that, we kind of see, okay, this kind of sheds a little more light, but it's after the fact and we don't really care as much, and we just find it a little more interesting, but who knows? Do you think we'll ever find out about any of this? Everyone thinks they know right now, like, no, this is right. No, this is right.
About COVID?
About anything. Right now,
I don't
election. I'm talking about the full Epstein. Was it? I mean, it's like,
I think
everyone that's included. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's just little truths to everything, but it's not to the point that everybody believes it. Like, is there stuff that goes on with elections every single year for our entire history that every side has tried to do? Probably. Like, it's just something that
cheating. You're trying.
It's just something that's bred into what's gone on.
Right.
But right now, it's such a powder keg with everything that's going on with COVID, and then everything that's happened in the election now, that it's bred this like hypersensitive like idea of everything going on. This is not that much different than the years past. Everybody's thought about election fraud and what's going on. Now it's just these two sides, like he said, there's no middle anymore. And the two sides are so dead set that they know what's true that they just want to argue about it the whole time.
Who's the man on the grassy knoll?
There's 2 of them.
No, but I mean, I don't I think that there is a lot that you don't know, or even before us that our parents didn't know before that. I think it's always going to be like that. There's just a point where there's things that I don't think people should know. Because I do think that there's stuff out there that could cause whatever.
100%. And this is going to sound bad, and I don't mean it this way, but generally, we aren't the smartest group of people that can handle things rationally as a whole. So if you put information out there, and mass panic is a true thing. There's some stupid people out there, and we see it happen, that don't handle things right.
I agree. I just find it ironic that this is going to be the episode that we air before Thanksgiving.
But be thankful for what you have.
Yes. It got deep for a while.
Then everyone's like tuning in, like, I wonder what they're going to talk about for Thanksgiving. Guys, we're in a pandemic. Nothing is normal. All right,
The pilgrims were murderers.
And that's going to offend somebody. Like, that right there is a thing that's going to offend somebody. We laugh. We go, oh, yeah, that's good. And that's offensive. Way to go, Corey. Way to alienate our listeners at this point.
Nobody should be offended by words.
Just thoughts.
Can you know my thoughts?
By your words.
Now I'm offended.
All right, real quick. Let's take a step back. Let's take a deep breath. I feel like you just took a drag off a cigarette there.
I think your mic just moved.
Sorry about that COVID on this mic.
That's where Joey usually sits. So yeah, you definitely got it. Some Jovid over there. Thanksgiving. Keep 2, get rid of 2. Okay, here we go. I'm going to set the stage for you, okay? Watching football. Macy's Thanksgiving parade. Big family feast for Thanksgiving. Playing football, throwing the ball around. Keep 2, get rid of 2.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Craig.
I already got mine.
I am definitely keeping watching football.
Okay.
And if I didn't choose keeping large family, I would probably be hurt when I got home. So I will do that.
What was your close runner-up that you were thinking about switching out?
Playing football.
Playing football. I agree with that, 100%. Macy, I'd never watched the Macy's parade. I've never done it anyway, so that's gone instantly. And then watching football's got to be there. I get hurt too often to play football. I'll tear something, so we'll go family feast.
Okay. I actually agree, too. I think I made that too easy. 10 years ago, what would have been your answer?
Well, 10 years ago, I would have not given up playing football. 100%.
So what would you have given up?
The family feast.
Yeah, at that point, I'm working anyway, so might as well give that up. And play football and then go to work.
All right. Let's do another round.
All right.
Okay. Keep 2, get rid of 2. Thanksgiving feast now. Okay. Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce.
I'm already done too.
I'm keeping turkey and... Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm keeping mashed potatoes and stuffing.
Good answer. That's a perfect answer. Sides are where it's at.
And here's the deal, though.
And stuffing is the shit.
It is. But here's the deal. I'm keeping mashed potatoes. I absolutely despise gravy.
Yeah,
I'm
he
still
won't-
going to keep.
Won't
I'm
put
still going to
gravy
keep mashed
on it.
potatoes.
You guys aren't gravy guys?
I do. He's not.
Oh, I'm
I-
gravy everything.
I'm
I'm
not
like, make
gravy
that
at
thing a
all.
friggin' soup bowl almost.
Yeah.
I eat stuff. I have eaten dry turkey because I refuse to eat. Put gravy on it.
You just threw in a super huge thing. Dry turkey, and you're going, mashed potatoes, you can get through. Rarely bad. Rarely dry.
It's hard to mess that.
Hard.
Yeah.
Stuffing, hard to mess up too.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. But for me and my house, just biblical today, we serve the Lord. And that is turkey and that is stuffing with some gravy. What's yours?
It's stuffing mashed potatoes, man.
Wow. perfect. So you're just
If somebody made something and they put ham instead of turkey, I'd still be fine as long as there's mashed potatoes and stuffing. That's all I care about. I wanted that at any feast. Give me stuffing, mashed potatoes. I'm good.
okay. We might go back to the keep two, get rid of two, but we're gonna do this real quick. Christmas music. Oh, did we talk about this already?
No, that I know of.
Okay,
Not on
Christmas music and Christmas celebrations prior to Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving. Did we talk about this?
So Christmas music for me is never.
Year round.
Yeah, and I'm not doing Christmas decorations till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's after.
Okay.
I haven't put up Christmas lights in like 5 years or 6 years anyway. So for me, never.
I am the guy that is after after Thanksgiving. Yeah. I mean, I might sneak in a song or two, just like, oh, whoops, how did that get on? And just listen to the whole thing while I'm driving. But then I'm like, okay, can't do that. Eggnog, obviously, way before. I'll start that in October. Remember Bruce?
I do remember Bruce.
Dairy Bruce. Did you ever work as a helper?
Yep.
Okay. So Dairy Bruce was the reason I wanted to become a dairy manager. I'm like, this guy's got the greatest job in the freaking world. This dude, he would have talked to me about how I remember how Scott and I would joke about this too. Bruce was a machine, A of all. Like, I remember Scott O'Hanlon saying, like, one time Bruce fell. He was jokingly telling me this. And he got back up and his right eye started flashing red. Bruce was a dairy manager from way back when. He has been it for like 30 years. He's retired at this point, obviously. But when I was a helper clerk, I would look on the schedule and go, ooh, frozen, dairy, this, dairy. I would love to work dairy.
He had a bionic hip too.
He did. Okay, so he was the bionic man.
Yeah.
He was great. He would talk about how he'd go mushroom hunting for like. And I don't understand mushroom hunting. Have you guys gone mushroom hunting before? Ever?
I've never been, but our old floral manager went mushroom hunting. He talked about it all the time. He loved doing it.
I've heard people talk about it.
And not like drug mushroom hunting. I'm like talking like.
No, it's expensive. Like mushrooms are expensive.
Like you go out there and you go up to the freaking Carbonado and you just start finding the areas and start lopping off.
If you know what you're looking for, you can actually make money from it too.
I have no clue what would taste good.
Let me tell you this: we have
portobellos.
We just got.
Okay.
We just got.
I could say that
new mushrooms into the store. They're lobster mushrooms, and they're like $40 some a pound. Mushrooms are expensive for not good mushrooms if you find the right ones.
Do you sample those? If
No,
I came
I
in
hate
and asked for a sample.
Gas stop.
I hate mushrooms and no samples right now, man. COVID, come on.
Do you not?
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you not like mushrooms?
I don't like mushrooms.
Cooked,
I don't know.
grilled.
Nothing.
When
If
was
they're
last?
hidden on a pizza,
When was the
I'm
last?
not going to take them off. But other than that, I don't add mushrooms.
When was the last time you tried mushrooms?
on pizza?
When was the last time?
I have no recollection of actually.
Could have been
trying.
2 years ago. You don't know.
Yeah, other than on pizza.
Try it again. Throw it on a steak. Absolutely delicious. I used to hate mushrooms. Love them. Do it.
If you make a steak and you put mushrooms on it, I'll come eat with you.
Corey, mushrooms are like crack.
I'm in.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. What was the thing that I said last week that said it's like crack cocaine?
I don't know.
What was it? And he said, "I'll do it. I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in." Mushroom guy.
I will eat mushrooms, but I don't really care for them unless they're grilled. I'll have them grilled.
Grilled onions
Yeah.
and grilled mushrooms are
Just-
so good. Throw
yeah,
some.
Just a straight one, probably not.
So good. I'm glad we got that off our chest.
Perfect.
Mushrooms in the stuffing. Sometimes some people do it.
I haven't tried it. I love stuffing. I'd probably eat it.
All right, here I'm going to give you the four grossest. Four grossest.
See if we
foods.
agree with it.
No. Keep two. Get rid of two.
Okay.
Okay. First one. Anything with a water chestnut in it. Anything. Have to eat the water. You can't pick them out. Got to have it with it. Okay. That green, weird
The
marsh.
pistachio stuff.
Yes. Jello. Are you talking about
Can it be red? Is it red also?
It could be red.
Okay,
It could
I
be
got
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
anything fluff. Anything. Okay, Jello fluff
Okay.
crap. Okay,
Flan.
that has like, again, tangerines in it, marshmallows in it, like anything that your grandpa grandma's like, oh, you guys love that stuff. I'll put it in this mold for you. Happy Thanksgiving. You're like, this is the worst. Mushrooms and stuffing. Since you're not a mushroom guy. Mushrooms and stuffing. Okay, and then super dry turkey.
Oh, I'm going super dry turkey and mushroom stuffing because the first two sounded horrible.
Okay,
So if I got to choose, I mean, I could just choose that pretty easy because that you get.
Or if you
Pretty
paid
easy.
Craig money, he'd eat all of it.
But I got to
And
tell
what-
you, there's the Jello that you're talking about. Normally has Cool Whip in it. Also,
yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh,
I don't mind that most of the time.
do you like Cool Whip?
I do.
Whip. Can I wait? Do you like what's the mayo that's nasty?
Mayonnaise?
No, the other mayo.
Miracle Whip.
Yeah, do you like Miracle Whip?
I'm fine with that.
You're
It's a little tangy.
dude. Your guys' taste buds are something else. I don't know if I want to go to your guys' family. If I was in your guys' I would get rid of the family feast because obviously something's going on at your guys' table that I don't like.
We have a lot of difference in what we eat and what we like, though.
Dude, there's a lot. I'm not very picky, so I mean,
I'm
there's
pretty
a lot of stuff that I eat that probably most people wouldn't. But I don't mind. I'm not saying it would be one of my it has to be there Thanksgiving type stuff. But if that shows up now, I think there's a difference between at least what I'm thinking of a red Cool Whip with the tangerines like you're talking in it. I've also seen like a green pistachio
Like the
pudding like
pistachio
he's talking
puddings.
about. I think there's a difference there because the green pistachio I don't care for. The red I've seen it with like
So
you
it
said.
must taste good then. I've never tried it.
Yeah, and I'm got so used to dry turkey for a lot of years, not having not liking gravy that I could deal with that too.
I just realized something. You got a chair like I got a chair. You got the good chair.
Yeah, it was sitting here. Why wouldn't I take it?
How does your back feel right now? You okay? How comfortable do you feel right now?
Well, I can't lean back because I would rip off the cords.
Yeah, he keeps
Oh,
like
okay. So you're leaning forward.
I'm
with
leaning
it.
forward to be nice to him.
So let me tell you about my back problem that I'm thankful for because it's Thanksgiving and this is a Thanksgiving episode and we haven't talked about fantasy football yet, but I'm going to tell you real quick. I moved an Xbox literally waist high, was moving it from one TV to the next TV because my kids moved it. I was going to move it back. I picked it up. What is that? 8 pounds? 7.2 pounds? Probably nothing. 4 pounds? Like
maybe.
probably.
Unless it was the original Xbox, that's like 10 or 12 pounds.
Did you pick it up with all the wires connected to
No,
it
no.
still?
Completely unattached. I picked it up.
Did you bend at the knees?
Looked up at the sky. looked at the ceiling.
Power
No.
zone?
I literally picked it up, moved to I twisted a bit, boom, back went out like that. And my back has never gone out. Like I've like strained it here and there, overworked it at some point in my life where it's kind of like been sore and needed this thing I couldn't move. Like if I moved left or moved right, if I just twisted this a little bit, just like to look, if you said, "Hey, Travis," and I looked away, back, dropped me to my knees. Took me 10 minutes to get out of my bed the next day. I couldn't get down the stairs. Tears in my eyes. The worst pain I think I've ever felt since like breaking my finger when I was like in first grade. Like the worst pain ever.
I think you should have a better story, though. Like you were helping lift a car off somebody or like
Well, that's-
trying to have an act of valor or something, not moving an Xbox.
I was gonna say like if I went to the doctor and after day one I was ready to and say operate on this thing right now, put me back together. They'd look at it and they go, "Oh my gosh, this back is the most messed up thing we've ever seen in my entire life. That's insane."
Without an X-ray or anything else,
yeah.
they just look.
They
at
just
it.
look at it and they go, "What happened? Like how bad was it?" And I would say, "Oh, this happened yesterday." "Oh, what'd you do?" "I moved an Xbox." "Oh, an Xbox, like an X." "Oh, I see what you're a Roman numerals guy. You say X for 10. You move 10 very large boxes full of bricks. This back, you've had to do it." Like, "No, an Xbox." I'm like, "What? Like the video game?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, was that made of solid gold? Because that back is so messed up. I had fantasies. I used to work in a warehouse. I had fantasies that I would be standing and like working this is weird fantasies, by the way.
It sounds like it.
And that a forklift driver that would have the forks like halfway up, just like waist high, would come around the corner and just drive into my back as hard as they could, and it would just miraculously pop it back into place. Like I had fantasies that a crane, like I was a part of a crane toy thing that you could get at the grocery store, pick up, that they would pick up my upper body and start shaking around my lower body and just have it just like work itself back into place. It hurts so bad.
I got an inversion table. You can use that.
I might take you up on it. Bobby Martinez has one too, but I think he uses it for other things. So, when you're strapped into that thing, you're like, wait, you use this? What do you use this thing for? I'm trapped. Both my legs are strapped here. I'm gonna all I think of is Pulp Fiction. I'm like, I think I saw this thing in the basement in Pulp Fiction. That's
these waterboarding people.
No, a lot of sexual things. You can't get away.
I have an inversion table. That'd be pretty difficult the way that turns you. That'd be a lot of work. I don't know if it'd be worth it or not.
It sounds like you need DDP Yoga.
Yeah, you should do some DDP yoga.
What's DDP? Is that a wrestling thing?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes.
His yoga program.
No.
Dude, it's like an intense
Does
yoga.
he get you into like a headlock and like falls back?
No, you do. You go
On the
back
back?
into the diamond cutter position, and then you spread your arms out and you stretch out.
Have
your
you done this
back.
before?
I've done it once.
I
yeah.
guarantee you and your wife have done this before.
I've done DDP yoga before. I've done a lot of different yoga before.
Does it feel good?
I haven't had a bad back since high school.
Does it feel good?
In the moment, yeah.
How's your back right now?
Well, I'm stretched forward trying to be nice to Craig, so it doesn't feel great.
I gave you the awesome chair. Never again.
If you guys don't know, we have our headphones connected to each other like barbarians. Podcast barbarians. You're back. How's it?
I have your typical, you wake up one morning, you slap on it wrong, but, fortunately,
Yeah,
that was me knocking on wood.
Strongest back
You
in
and
the
the
world.
DDP beer smash.
I've never had my back go out, so I don't know what that feels like, but I assume it would not be good.
It's not good. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't.
My back went out, and the next day I was supposed to help him move.
Oh, it's such
I
a
was
great.
out there lifting,
yes.
trying to lift couches and stuff. And
Oh,
then-
you actually showed up,
Yeah, and I tried helping.
dude.
and
I
then
called
was-
in sick to work.
And then it went out again when I was trying to lift the couch.
That's what we do. Show up for
I
each
still,
other.
I still show up.
That's very cool of you. I would have been there for moral support.
It ended up that way, but
I would have been in my what's something about Mary where he's helping. He straps that.
Franklin Baines.
Well, he helps that one guy for like a moment. The guy's in one of those power chairs, and he's he's helping him move this it's strapped to him, a giant entertainment center. And he moves and you just hear him go that's how my back is. Oh, Franks and beans though. All right, fantasy football. You guys ready?
Let's go.
Sure.
Taysom Hill put into some lineups this past weekend because I am going to release this the week of Thanksgiving. ESPN, Yahoo has him as a QB tight end. QB
Just
only.
not
QB
tight end.
only. CBS, QB only. Sleeper, QB only, because I picked him up thinking that I could get him. ESPN has him as a QB/tight end, so you can start him in the tight end flex position. Your thoughts?
Garbage.
I would not allow it, but I see if the setup is that way, then I don't see you're using the system that you're in. I mean, you pick them up and it's there, you're going to start.
I mean,
there.
I'm not going to blame anybody that goes. I mean, if I don't agree with it, but if my league, which they don't, could pick him up for a tight end, I would go pick him up and put him in the tight end spot. I mean, that's just part of the game. I don't agree that it should be there, but I would play the system just like anybody else would.
But it should not be there.
Yeah.
Would you create a league vote immediate to go hey guys, we never had this happen before? Can you think of any other time that this has ever been a thing where a running back then became the starting quarterback for a week?
We had to switch Ty Montgomery the year
because he went from a tight end to a running back. Receiver. That's right.
And he became their starting running back.
That's right.
And we had to change it until our league setup did it to make sure he was only running back eligible after Green Bay said he's only a running back now. We did it. But that's the only other time I remember changing.
But to answer your question, if I was in a league that had him tight end eligible, as the commissioner of that league, I would put it to a vote before it became. Now, if the vote happens and it stays, then that's what the league says. Okay. But I would put it to a vote. Now,
our commissioner is a guy who has them. And so we have co-commissioner too, who can kind of step in and kind of help rule when anything happens with a regular commissioner. So actually, they're both kind of co-commissioners. Our guy who's playing him is like, dude, this guy's got Russell Wilson. Now he's got Taysom Hill as a tight end. Like, this guy's going to get... You're lucky to get like maybe 10 to 20 points. 15 points is a great game by a tight end. 10 is a decent game. You're probably going to get 20 points from a quarterback for the most part. 15 to 20. So this tight end is going to have a great game. And if we know Taysom Hill, and we know Taysom Hill, this guy is one of the most selfish players I've ever watched. Like, at any point you see him in the backfield and you're like, oh, he's the quarterback right now? He's going to run the ball. He's got Kamara to his right. He's got wide receiver options galore with Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas and Jared Cook as a tight end, as well as who else they have?
There's, what'd you say, Sanders?
Sanders. Who's their other tight end? I said Jared Cook. I think I might be wrong on Jared Cook.
No,
Cook's that's right. Okay,
Cook's there, and then the Hill, I think, is there. The white guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. They have another tight end.
They do, really?
Yeah. Josh Hill, I think.
Oh.
And in his defense, too, I think...
He's going to run every time.
A lot of those plays are set up for him, and I think he's told, run first, unless there's something completely wide open, because that's, I think, what Peyton sets up for him in those set plays. And that's what's going to be interesting for an entire game when you have a full game plan of what he's going to actually do.
Against a banged-up, horrible Atlanta Falcons defense.
And you know what?
I'm interested to see what happens.
What I'm worried about and why I have him in 2 leagues. Why I'm scared to start him is that if this is all show, he goes out there and starts the game.
Oh, yeah. And
then Winston comes in, and they were just messing with the Falcons.
I personally think, and obviously this is going to come out after this happens, so we're either going to be right or wrong on it. I think it's more for show than a lot of people that we're giving that credit for. Cool. He took a whole bunch of snaps at the number 1. Winston's been taking snaps also. You know that as well as I do. But even Peyton today said, when he was directly point blank asked, we know who the starter is. He said it was never released that everybody else is saying that Hill's the starter, right? There's some showmanship going on there. I do think that there's a good chance that Winston is going to play quarterback a lot more than what people are thinking right now.
That's why I'm scared to start him. I'll pick him up, see what happens. If he goes out there and starts the full game and balls out, you get at least 2 or 3 more games with him with Breeze being gone then.
They put Breeze on the IR today.
So he's out for a minimum
at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wow. Okay, well, our thing was, hey, put this to a vote. Got to vote silent, send it to the guy. Do you guys vote like where everyone can see, or do you guys vote silent vote?
I send an email out and everybody emails me back.
But not reply all?
No.
So how does everyone know you're not like cheating in a sense? We trust you. We like you. But is it just your...
They don't.
It gets out.
I have everything that's written down and I keep, and if anybody actually asks, I could be like, here, it's right here.
If the vote doesn't go my way, I figure out who didn't vote my way.
And then you go like poop on their front porch and leave.
So let me add one thing.
Don't put it out with your boat.
Let me add one thing along this same topic. If this week he does come out and start and plays the whole game, and nothing happened this week, if the commissioner of this league doesn't get a vote for this week,
right,
and it happens,
you can vote again.
I would say if he came and played quarterback the entire game for that week, that tight end position's got to go no matter what, if there's a vote or not.
I think ESPN has to change it if he only plays QB the entire game.
I think if whatever you're being listed as, that's where you can play the guy. The whole QB tight end thing, like if they're saying, like if you got Adam Schefter sitting out on the freaking Twitterverse, and he's saying, yeah, he's going to start. And then now they're saying, 15% of the plays. I don't care. Well, 15% of the plays, I would go tight end.
Right now, you can still start him. Like, listen, Breeze was in there.
Right.
You can still start him at tight end, and you might get some QB snaps from him, and you might get some running back snaps, and that's your risk you take. You might get no snaps and start him at tight end.
See, and like I said, I 100% don't agree with tight end thing. The argument could be made this week, and this is the only thing I think. They did the whole stats. I don't remember what they were. In his 500 and some odd snaps that he's taken in the NFL, more than half of those have been at tight end. So that would be an argument that he should be tight end eligible, right?
In a normal setting.
Unless he's announced.
Unless he's announced. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but I could see justifying it for, let's say, that it doesn't go to a vote. I could see justifying it for this week.
Yeah.
Somebody could say, hey, he's been at tight end more than 50% of all the snaps that he's taken, and he hasn't started a quarterback yet. As a matter of fact, I don't know if he's actually physically started as a tight end or as a wide receiver or anything, right? As soon as he steps on the field as a starter, and it's not just 2 plays and then he comes off, instantly it should get changed. And I think, knowing the way how big fantasy is, that if that does happen, ESPN will probably do that.
It sounds like some conglomerate, like Big Pharma, Big Fantasy.
No, but there's a lot of money involved in fantasy. There's a lot of money.
There is a lot of money. Because there's a lot of money, we're gonna switch topics.
Okay.
But I like what you guys said. I talked to you guys about this last week. I don't think we even talked about it last week. Or maybe I said at the end of the week, hey, who is your biggest bust?
Oh, I wrote this down. Hold on.
Who is your biggest bust that was on every draft board, drafted by absolutely everyone? I didn't say this though. Can't be an injured player. Can't be someone like an Austin Eckler who then got injured. It can't be someone. It has to be someone that was going to do great, you thought, and they crapped the friggin' bed. I go first.
What if they have played but have been injured and then played and then it's been off?
Yeah,
if it's not that they're on IR,
they're not out for the season,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is Lamar Jackson, absolute turd of a human player. Loved the guy, MVP last year, sucks this year. My runner-up that I was having was James Conner. I cannot. Melvin Gordon too. Gosh darn it, I cannot stand these guys. I'm so mad at them right now. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, angry at them. Corey's got his phone out. We're going to give Craig some time to think about it.
I got it. I got it right now.
Mike Davis.
That should be your biggest surprise.
We will talk about biggest.
Maybe it was.
I think we should do. Did I say do biggest surprise too?
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Craig.
So I'm gonna go with Zach Ertz. I realize he's hurt right now. Oh, here's the deal. You said
Big disappointment, though. He is disappointing.
You look weeks 1 through 4.
But you had Goddard. Goddard was possibly going to be a good tight end
Zach
too.
Ertz on most draft boards is probably top 3, top 4 easily on all draft boards.
Okay.
And when he was playing, now granted he may come back this week, probably not. He's probably going to be coming back next week. I still don't see that is a huge to take a tight end. There are people that could have taken him over Kelsey. I wouldn't have. You probably went Kelsey and then
Kittle,
Right.
and then
Andrews.
no.
Yeah,
No.
Mark Andrews.
That's he has been garbage. And he's been garbage, and it's affected the Philadelphia
Everybody.
Eagles, even though they're in first place.
But to his credit, to argue for him, I should say, the Philadelphia Eagles affect the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, like
first place. First place.
3-6-1, first place.
Gonna have a home game. Oh, what?
Go ahead. Who's your?
I've been
bummer?
angry. I've been angry at Drake. I've been angry at Andrews too. He's been on a lot of my teams.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's still and the overall tight end. He's still not that low because of how bad tight ends are.
Sure.
My biggest disappointment on my team, and he's been hurt, so there's part of it. But Kenny Golladay, he was 27th overall to start the season. He was so high. You know where he sits right now? 234th overall. And he sits on my bench because he's either doing nothing or he's getting hurt. He's been disappointing the whole time.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I won't go biggest surprise first. We'll wrap back around. Corey, you start us off with the biggest surprise.
So my biggest surprise are rookie quarterbacks. Burrow started at 100 overall. Right now he's sitting at 22. And Herbert, 255 overall. He's sitting at 7 overall right now.
That's a huge one.
What they're able to do without the offseason that they didn't get, like a normal offseason, has been.
How much do you think Hubert paid the trainer in the Chargers to be like, hey,
to stab that guy?
here's a horse needle to slam right into the chest of Tyrod Taylor.
Confident enough to know he's like, once I get in there, I'm not coming back out. So you just need to do this once for me.
Here's 50.
Just like what happened to him at every stop he's been at. He gets hurt and then he gets replaced.
The worst luck in the world. Who's your biggest surprise?
Well, since how somebody took 2.
Yeah, you go 2. I don't care.
No, Herbert was mine.
Taysom Hill.
No.
After this week.
Herbert was mine.
Well,
I actually picked him up like week 2.
It was rookie quarterback.
Okay, I get that.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, though. He probably went high on most.
I thought you were going to say Wentz.
No. That could also be biggest disappointment.
It's been a biggest surprise that Wentz is still standing.
Okay, he went high on draft boards. A lot of people thought he was going to do good. But Kyler Murray, the amount of fantasy points he's getting is a surprise to me.
He was number 1 overall until the last night's game, I think.
Yeah. So I know people took him high, top 5 rounds, depending on what leagues you're in and everything else. Surprising the amount of fantasy points he's getting.
Yep.
Even if you took him in the 5th or 6th round, the return on investment for what he's doing is crazy.
Yeah. So that would be mine.
My biggest surprise is Dalvin Cook. I knew he would be a good running back. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Todd Gurley. I didn't think Todd Gurley was going to be... I think Todd Gurley is like top 4. And he was supposed to be like 12, maybe 15. I mean, he was going to be an RB1. But he has really like on an offensive passing type of a team where Matt Ryan is throwing to Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley also would be a good one for a surprise, but I think he's tapered off because of injury. Todd Gurley's really held his own. He looks not as good as he did on the Rams, but whole heck of a lot better than I thought he was going to be. DK Metcalf is another one that I knew he'd be decent. I didn't know he would be like this good. I also can't tell if it's Russell Wilson making him look good.
But think how good DK can be if he learns to completely catch.
Did you see that tweet last night or yesterday?
Uh-uh.
He said after the game, he said, "I feel like Russell owes me an apology for throwing me a fastball to the chin
to hit your hands." Because he's being a beast anyway. But some of these drops, if he corrects and starts catching the ball, it's going to be ridiculous.
I agree. He should have another touchdown that he had someone just knock out of his hand almost there. He's had a few. He should have more touchdowns that he currently has. But the other person that I thought has outplayed is because of Kyler Murray is DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, you didn't know. Like you were like, he's got great hands. He's a good player. But how much of that was just Deshaun Watson just airing it out to him and him getting loose? Like, how good is he? And for him to match up with Kyler Murray, it's incredible. I think that catch that he made is a little overrated that happened last week. I mean, granted, it was a great catch, but
I screwed my pick'em too.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are mine. Do you guys have, I guess, one team that you thought was going to be way better than they are now?
I do. We have a family pool we do, and we pick an AFC team and an NFC team every year, and we put money in a pot. I always take the Colts in the AFC.
Right.
In the NFC, I just try to find a team that's hot, right? And I took the Cowboys this year. And their defense just crumbled.
Yeah. Their offensive line sucks.
Offensive line's horrible. I thought they were going to be a lot better going into the season than they turned out to be.
Is this a family pot with your bro?
Yeah.
Who'd you choose?
So I obviously have Philly for my NFC team,
Gosh, okay, I gotta get in on this thing. I'll make some money.
and I got
too loyal.
I got Pittsburgh for my AFC team.
Okay, nice.
So I mean, nobody thought they were going to be 9-0, 10-0.
You got 2 first place teams.
I do. That is a good point. I do.
Hey, wait. The Cowboys still have a shot at that division. And here's the funny thing. The Cowboys have a shot at the division, and they have a good shot at the number 1 overall pick. It's either way. Either way it could
great
go.
right now. Yeah. My team that I thought was going to do a lot better was the Texans. Texans like 2-7 or 2-8 or something like that. Like it's like ridiculously bad.
Yeah, they were horrible.
It's insane. Like I thought they would be a little bit better.
It's the Bill O'Brien effect.
It is. It really is. The other team that I thought would, I mean, I know the Niners, I thought they'd be better, but that 4-5 ain't bad right now.
They are just
but they're just
destroyed with
injured.
injuries.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though? And granted, I know where we're talking. I know the audience we're talking to. Not a lot of San Francisco fans.
Right.
Could you imagine if the 49ers didn't have the injuries?
What
the
this,
NFC West would look like?
Gosh.
It'd be-
my gosh.
And
Yeah.
when we were talking about that Zeke contract, that Garoppolo contract,
It's terrible.
the way it's been, is one of the worst contracts now too. But
Did I not say that?
Whether
You did.
if they can opt out, I heard,
Oh,
and they're at the end of this year, if they don't
They're
want to pay
thinking
him, they
about
can
it.
get out of it somehow.
I would.
But he came out and said he's a starter next year. The coach did.
That's what he's saying to like keep him around, not cause turmoil in the clubhouse, and then they're immediately going to yank him out of there. The team that you thought is overperforming, or you think that is overperforming, you thought that they were going to be turds, and they came out pretty hard.
I would go the Bills. The Bills have looked really good.
Bills
for what's
Mafia
going on.
for sure.
Bills and Dolphins, I would say. That division right there with the Patriots struggling, both the Bills and the Dolphins for what they're doing and has been actually really cool. It's almost like the old 90s again, where the Bills and Dolphins were the two teams winning all the time. Like it's coming back again.
Really?
But Bills went to all the Super Bowls.
Yeah, but
The Dolphins were good back then.
who else though?
Patriots
But
were
when you think of the
horrible.
Niners, the Niners are turds. The Bucks were turds.
Yeah,
Bucks
for a
were
long
like
time.
laughing stock.
The Patriots were turds because they had Doug Flutie as their quarterback.
Seahawks were
back then.
turds. So only your 2 teams. Yeah, okay, fine. It's the 90s. Those 2 teams.
No,
that
I'm
you
just
said.
saying those teams were good. And
Cowboys were good.
I was a Niners fan back then. The Cowboys and Niners were the 2 NFC teams, and it was the Dolphins and Bills were battling out over there.
Okay.
Those are just
All right,
facts.
So anyway,
Good opinion.
Go look at how many Bills Super Bowls there were.
I agree with the Dolphins the way they're playing right now. I think the Bills were going to be good no matter what. I think they're overperforming only because the Patriots aren't there, but I think they were going to be good. The team I think that's overperforming right now, I think they're going to get stomped this week, but they're still overperforming, is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Really?
I do. And I think they're a solid team. I think Gruden has taken the time to do what he wanted to do. And I think they're overperforming where they're and they look to me like they should be a playoff team this year.
I'm sorry. Steelers are way overperforming than I thought they were going to.
Oh, I think everybody thinks that.
I am absolutely like blown away. Miami, yes, too, but they kind of play turds too. Miami's played some turds. Jets, they played. I just say the Jets. That's it. They mean
The Jets are overperforming for what even they're doing. That's how bad they are. They haven't won a game and they're overperforming.
But yeah, no, I think that Steelers is just insane. Especially if you don't even look at it. I don't know how Ben Roethlisberger got like AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
He threw like 4 touchdowns or 3 and ran 1 or something.
Well, what's amazing to me about the Steelers, and I 100% agree with you that they're overperforming, is we're now talking about a team that they think could go undefeated.
There's no way.
Well, and I agree with that, but that's where we're at now, and nobody would have ever said that at the beginning of this season.
No, not at all.
Defense is just amazing.
It is good, but Roethlisberger, he's a larger version of Phillip Rivers. Like
He's better than Philip Rivers.
he is. He can throw some, but he's just taller. I think that he can throw a better ball. Isn't he taller? I want to say he's taller.
Than Philip Rivers?
Rivers is tall though.
He's I will give you taller, but he has less kids.
There you go.
Dude, Ben Roethlisberger can throw left-handed farther than Phillip Rivers can.
Philip Rivers can't move his elbow.
Philip Rivers looks like, he's got something up his butt every time he throws something.
But he talks trash like a master.
You ding-dongs. He doesn't cuss. He doesn't cuss at all. You know that?
But he's amazing at talking trash.
Philip Rivers is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You see that guy talk trash? Dude, he was horrible
You
in San Diego.
You flipping guys, or we're crushing you. What does he say?
He was just making fun of. He'll make fun of people. Like he had him on a hot mic. One of the guys got run over on defense. He went up to his laughing. He's like, "What happened on that one?" Like just making fun. They got run over. He'll go talk shit to everybody.
Oh, wow. That would make me mad, though. Last thing before we go. Movie recommendations for Mariano Rivera. Has he watched any of these? Do we know?
I think he's in the process of watching them.
See, I don't think we should give him one unless he watches them.
I'm not going to give him any more until we get a confirmation that he's watched all 3 of our last ones. But you said you need to sneak one in.
I'm giving him this one. The year is 1992. Okay, Roddy Dangerfield ain't getting no respect. The movie is Ladybugs.
Wait, what?
You've never seen Ladybugs?
You ever seen Ladybugs? Okay, you go watch Ladybugs.
Yes.
Roddy Dangerfield, and it's another
Sequest.
Yeah, Landis sighting. And the premise is Rodney Dangerfield is a girls' soccer coach and really wants to win.
Oh, it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. He takes over a teenage soccer team or something like that. Girls' soccer team.
Amazing movie.
I don't know about that. That's an amazing movie.
Go watch it again.
When was the last time you watched it?
It's been a little while.
Okay,
I've watched Sidekicks since I've watched that.
So you're going to watch it and you're like, what was I even thinking?
It's Rodney Dangerfield's in it. Why would I think that?
Favorite Thanksgiving movie to watch? I go first. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's the only one I can know it's a Thanksgiving movie.
I think Uncle Buck is.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I have no idea. I don't watch movies just for Thanksgiving.
When was the last time you watched Trains, Planes, and Automobiles?
Years.
It's so good. It's still good.
One of the Naked Guns take place during like Thanksgiving, doesn't it? Like 33 1/3.
I don't know, actually.
Might be Christmas.
I don't know. One of them's during a baseball game, so
I love that. I guess the Mariners are in it.
yeah, he's vacuuming home plate.
Is it the A's versus the Mariners? Who's playing?
Angels.
Angels.
That's where they're at.
Yeah, Angels versus
Reggie
the
Jackson.
Mariners.
Reggie Jackson was not going to take out
Angels in the outfield? These
Okay,
these movies are just
we're
gonna keep-
weird football season. I don't want to talk about this other crap. Not yet. We'll get there. By the way, there's already talks that we're going to spin this off. It's going to be turned into garage night. Right now, we're focused, though, on some fantasy football in the meantime until we get to the end of the season. After the Super Bowl, we'll then move off from football. We'll spin off into garage night. And, shout out to Corey. Big time. Joey loves your what you've done. We may have of your logos that you've made. Loves them.
Good.
But we may have to make some changes. Remind me to talk to you about it after the pod and see if you can do it for us. If not, then it's just Craig and I doing garage night.
I'll just leave now. It's been a fun run.
Take off your headphones. It's going to pull off.
I see where your loyalty stands. I thought you were going to walk out with me.
I feel like I wanted you guys to give a shout out, but now I don't know if you guys want to give shout outs at the moment. Do you guys want to give shout outs? Was there anything? Oh, what you're thankful for. That was it. We're going to say this real quick. Can't say wives because we obviously are so thankful for our wives. Can't say jobs. Can't say friends. Something abstract that you are thankful for. And not health. Like, be serious for a moment. My back, I'm not thankful for it.
So you can't think you eliminated family altogether?
Altogether. Obviously, these are go-tos that are super easy, and they know this.
But I'm really thankful for my brother.
Does he have you for Christmas?
I have unwrapped him before. He just totally didn't know what to do right there.
That was weird.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening.
It was after he stuffed me in a freezer.
I don't even want to know what that means either.
Literally, I put him in a freezer.
Oh, okay. I am thankful for sports being able to be played in 2020. There was a point in March or April where it was like, are we going to have baseball? Are we going to have football? Are we going to have basketball? And we were able to have it. And I'm super thankful that we were able to, and I'm thankful for the players putting themselves into the bubble. I'm thankful for the leagues to figure it out, to make it happen. and get the COVID tests and all that. Thankful that we're able to watch sports this year, because it would be absolutely painful without football right now, without a lot of the stuff that's going on. That's my thankfulness. Boom, stole it. All your guys' answers. You guys can suck it.
He took away every answer and it was like, I'm thankful for the one thing we all came to talk about.
So if we're going to get serious, what I am thankful for is, well, yes, you. I am thankful that regardless of everything that's going on, stuff I do agree with, stuff I don't agree with, that we still live in America.
Ooh, yeah.
Compared to anywhere else in the world. At the end of the day, regardless of who you get pissed off about, what goes on, you still live in the greatest country ever.
America.
I like that. I like keep giving keep talking about what is it about America that you just love?
The Eagles. They're bald eagles.
Rock eagle flag. What else? Come on, keep going with that. What is it?
Dude, there's so many things that we should be thankful for.
We got it good here.
I don't care what anybody says. Your freedoms, there's so much that we should be thankful for in this country.
Yeah.
Like what? Talk about them.
First of all, do we all of a sudden...
One day in this great nation...
7 years ago!
That was just the intro. What was that? Hold on. Keep talking.
When I was a child and I knew that I was going to grow up in these United States of America, I was so thankful that I had every possibility at my fingertips.
I like how Corey's taking over your thankful thing.
I'm fine. I'm saluting, because you all should be saluting right now.
I am. Okay, I can't pay these guys. We got to go. All right, Corey, what's yours?
Oh, I am thankful that I am finally going to get to play Cyberpunk here in the next couple weeks. And on a serious note, on a serious note, video games have probably gotten a lot of people through this pandemic. Of everybody that had to be at home, they played a lot of video games. They have
got people through this. They've never got people laid. They've gotten people through a lot of tough times.
How do you know they didn't get people laid?
There's no way.
There's some girls that play a lot of gamers.
That's a bold statement.
You think any woman's going to walk in and go, "Oh, you're playing Cyberpunk? Take me now."
If she's into Cyberpunk.
And you're like, how much? You're going to... And then you'd be like this. You'd be like, oh, hold on. I've got to finish this mission.
Well, I mean, that's up to
or at least save.
Yeah, you got to save quick and get out of there.
I'm on the one that can't pause it.
It'd be like anything. Maybe somebody's into you're mowing the lawn. And she's like, oh, that's how you.
Okay, that's a rarity.
Anybody could be into anything.
That's a rarity.
Anybody could be into anything.
You're right.
So somebody could be into video games.
Hey, Craig, let's not answer this and just do this for Corey. Okay? Don't tell him.
Okay.
Corey, what's the weird thing that you're into? And we'll all tell ours too.
The weirdest thing, crack cocaine.
Why weren't you thankful for that?
It's easy to get.
I'm actually not that thankful it's so easy to get. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Corey, you're an absolute legend at this point.
Bombshell.
I need you to do stuff for me. And
sucking
Craig,
up for something.
Craig.
I'm thankful for this podcast. This is what I'm thankful for.
I'm also thankful for being here on this podcast.
Yes, you guys, come on, please. All right, everyone, thanks. We were thankful that you guys listened. We're thankful for the questions. Jared Skelly. Shout out to Eric Madrid, Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Adam Kenny, the subscribers on Patreon. Go hit up Fullbuddy Cast on Patreon. We will mention your name. You'll become official Fullbuddy. We'll give you whatever you need that I can reasonably give you for free, but you have to pay me for stuff. Subscribe to us. Buy us a beer. Buy a T-shirt. Buy a sweatshirt. We got some swag for the holidays. Go for it. And please support local. Go hit up Cole Street Brewery, Bordeaux Wine Bar that has beer, as well as Mazatlan. Thank you so much. Go Hawks.
Go Eagles.
Colts over Packers.
Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy. Football. Fantasy.